All right, guys. Guys, sorry. Good morning. Okay, so let's start our today class, right? On TypeScript. What is TypeScript? Basically, if you look at the definition, right? TypeScript is a programming language developed by Microsoft that builds on JavaScript. That builds on JavaScript by adding static types, right? So, in the simple term, right? TypeScript is used for type checking for JavaScript. So you know, so how we're gonna do all those things? We're gonna look at later, right? What is the benefit of that TypeScript? Type safety. If your program is asking you number, right, and by mistake you send string, or someone, like someone try to hack on and try to send string or something, right? Your code is protected by TypeScript. Okay, like okay, we don't accept string here. It must be number, right? So that is type safety. Improve code readability, right? When you put when you write code in TypeScript, it improve the code readability, means you are writing code properly, right? Okay. Better tooling, provides autocomplete and better debugging support, right? Modern JavaScript features support ES6 features and allow gradual migration from JavaScript, right? Okay. It is strict syntactical support superset. Okay, means TypeScript is nothing but the superset of JavaScript, like like a big brother of JavaScript, right? Just think like that. So here, right, there is two things to be noticed, like strongly typed versus loosely typed. Okay, term strongly typed and loosely typed refer to how programming language handles types. Uh, so let's try to understand strongly typed and loosely typed, right? What is that means? Before I start, I must initialize my Node.js project. How I can do that? npm init -y, right? So it will give me the package JSON. So initializing the Node.js project. Okay. Now I will be able to install the what do you call that? Different libraries, right? Different modules or different software I can install for Node.js program. Okay. So first thing I'm going to install is TypeScript. So let's install that. npm install, right? Or uh, so we can see there is two types of program. One you might need as a dependency, right? That will always stay with your program. Okay. Every time you run the program, right, that dependency is required. But in case of TypeScript, it's just needed during the products like development, right? You write code during the development, you do all the checking there, right? It will give you back the JavaScript which is compiled already, like fully checked, and that JavaScript will be used for running your code in the browser or in the Node.js program, right? Either here, this is a Node.js program, or in the browser. So, the program which run is JavaScript. TypeScript is just a compile, right? Compile means, it will look at all the code and it will check for the any data error, right? So what I mean by that, in TypeScript, when we define our variables or functions or any data type, right, we we tell the variable, okay, you will be string or you will be number or you will be a function. Even you are function, right? You're gonna receive this many number and this many string or maybe boolean, right? We tell everything. Okay, we define first, and then once we define, right, that's what we receive. You have defined one thing and you send something else, then the TypeScript will complain means it will throw out the error, right? So that is all about TypeScript. So let's install the TypeScript first. Okay, so npm install uh, type TypeScript, right? So we can install as a development only, that is -d right? And then what else? npm install dash d typescript. Even you can install in global, right? Like in the, you can use for, you can install locally here or in the system itself, your system. So you can put dash g also, right? But for now, I'll just install here in the local in our project typescript. Okay, enter and see what happens. So it will install TypeScript, and you can see development dependency, right? TypeScript added. Good. Once you have TypeScript, you must initialize the TypeScript. What I mean by that is you must need the TypeScript configuration, right? ts, I think ts config.json file, json, right? So either you can put this file here, create a file with this name, and make some configuration, right? If you like someone who has good knowledge can do that. Else let's say I don't know TypeScript, I'm the first time using this, right? There is a command, we call it what is that, npx, right? Npx, I think npx tsc dash b, right? npx tsc dash b, and it will generate the tsconfig file. Okay, so let's try this. So this is TypeScript compiler. Okay, now we are saying, okay, TypeScript compiler, please generate the config file, right? I think that is the command. No, let me check, right? Even I don't remember. So npx tsc, okay, so that is dash init, right? Dash b is to run the TypeScript. Okay, tsc, npx tsc dash b is to run or to compile. This is the one, right? This is the one. I mean, we are learning TypeScript by installing the TypeScript programs and doing everything manually. Okay, once we start our Next.js project, right, there everything happen automatically. You don't do all these things. Okay, but when we write our code, we must know, right, how to define types and all those things. We must know. So here we're just learning the base of TypeScript, very basic, right? So let's try that again. npx tsc dash init. That's how you initialize in like npm init dash y, right? So same thing, we initialize the TypeScript config file that is needed to run or to compile your TypeScript, and that's it. So we get this tsconfig.json, right? We got that. Now if you look at this file here, you don't normally you don't do many things, right? A lot of things are commented out. This is like a like a blueprint, right, for the TypeScript. Here you can define certain, or you can set certain rules for the TypeScript, right? How you can compile, what are the things you can compile, right? So that is what all defined here. Normally we don't do anything, but let's say, for example, right, you are writing a code in your, you are writing any project, right? You are just working on any project. You're gonna have like main file, right? Main let's say you want to store all your TypeScript in one folder, that is called source folder. Okay, and inside you have like index dot, now how you write TypeScript, ts, okay, ts, right? You can even install the let's see if there is something for the TypeScript, right? TypeScript JavaScript TypeScript, yeah, you can install this. Okay, so it will give you the syntax highlights and some suggestion, right? Install that. Let's go back now. So I have this index.ts file, right, in the source folder. When I compile, it must generate like a distribution file, right? So how the system, when you compile or when you run the code, how the system will do, like how it will do automatically, right? How it will do that. So in your ts config, we define that. Okay, if you look at here, somewhere maybe root directory, right? Look at this root directory, and there will be out dir also, right? Somewhere out dir, uh, out file out dir, this one. So root means where you can find something like TypeScript files. You can define here, and from here you can output in which directory, right? So you can define that. So let's go on the bottom, right? And maybe we can write it ourselves here. So this is the last one, because this is an object, right? You must put comma and then start writing the next one. So root dir, and inside I will say dot slash, that is a root, like main folder project, and inside I have source. So inside the source you can find all my TypeScript file. And then where you gonna, when you compile, right, where you gonna put all the JavaScript? So I can say out dir, right? That is in the out dir. In which folder? So in the root directory, let's call it dist, right? Maybe distribution folder, something like that. Okay, that's it. That is all we need, right? So I have the root dir index here. Now let's try. Okay, so let num, right? And I will say this num is a number. See? I just defined it is a number, right? And I can pass here game. Good. See, that's how you can define the number, right? How many data types we have? You have the number, string, boolean, null, undefined, right? And then the array objects, and there will be like some complex types, right? Maybe enums and all other stuff we're going to look at maybe in tomorrow class. But today let's look at some basic, right? Also you have function. Okay, so we're going to look at all those things. Fine. So now I have the number here, right? You can even let str equal to string, right? String, and you can put here, Robert Welker, something like that. Okay. Now I can console log this. I can console log console.log num, right? This is my variable, and I can console log also str. Okay. So let's see. We just have the simple TypeScript written. We can now compile, right? How you can compile now? npx psc -b, right? And enter. So this config, whatever we have configured, right, based on that information, whatever is here, okay? So TypeScript use some like predefined way of doing things, right? All are defined here. So it is using some kind of what JavaScript it is using, right? So let's see here. Module CommonJS, fine, we don't care about that. Target ES 2016, right? This is the JavaScript language or version it will convert into, right? Fine. So let's enter. And now what do you get here? See, it generate dist folder, and inside we have index.js file, and it would use strict. That's fine. You have let num equal to 10, let string equal to this, and console log, right? See, so that's what happened. Simple. TypeScript compile to JavaScript, and JavaScript is the one who gonna run in our program, right? So we can run this code. Let's say node, because we are in the node.js, right? And where is my JavaScript? In the dist folder, right? Because I'm in the main directory, okay, here, like TypeScript, that is my main folder. Inside I can say dist and then index.js, and you can see I get the answer, right? Okay, that's good. But the problem is, what if I can go back here, right? And I put here a string. Let's say this is a string, right? What gonna happen now? So let's try to compile and see what we get. So I'll npx tsc -b, and see, one error, right, is saying type string is not assignable to the type number. See that? So if I have some kind of type error while writing code, you know, my compiler, my TypeScript will handle that problem. Okay, means it will warn me, okay, you have this error, right? Fix that before you go further, right? So you get the point. Okay, that's why TypeScript is very important, and everywhere you go for job, they will ask you if you know TypeScript or not, right? So we understand how to install or how to initialize the Next.js project, sorry, Node.js project, right? Then install TypeScript, then add the like root dir and the out dir, right? And next you can compile that with the npx esc-b, right? Okay, I think I have done something wrong. Npx esc space b, and I will get the this one is okay now, right? And then you can run your code. So if you want to run this file in the dist node dist slash index.js, simple enough, and you get your code. Basically your javascript will generate whatever it has to do, right? The output. Okay, so we understand all this, we understand TypeScript. Now it's time to look at the like simple function like this also you can write, right? Let's say you are writing the greet function. Let's add one more file here, right? I'm going to say a oh, a.ts and enter, right? And inside you have a function uh, greet like this, right? And you're gonna maybe need what? A string, right? Okay, and then console log, my name is, or maybe let's put backtick, right? Backtick. Let's learn about backtick. Okay, so once you have add backtick, you can add the variable here, right? Like $str. Now what it's saying, right? This parameter str implicitly has any type. Okay, any, right? Means you have not defined any type yet. I mean, you can put any here. When you do any, right, what gonna happen? Means you will be able to send any data. Like you can send number, you can send whatever, right? From your function. And you can send 4, it will not complain, okay? But if this is a string, you must define here a string, right? Now this parameter is a string. And if I'm sending 4, see, it says argument of type number is not assignable to the parameter of type string. This parameter is a string, you cannot send number, right? You must send the string like that. Now I'm done with my TypeScript file. I'm done with the writing code, right? I can compile now. So what was that? npx esc dash b, right? And it should generate the a.js file inside my dist folder. And I can go ahead and node dist slash a.js. You see, I get the answer, right? Okay, so we understand this simple, code, how to write the, like how you can create JavaScript and how you can compile it and how you can get the answer, right? Now it's time to understand the basic type in JavaScript, right? So we learned the string, we understand that, we know the number already, right? If you have just variable, you can call it Boolean. So, like, let's say go here, we have let is student or whatever, right? Student equal to true. Then if this is boolean data, right, if this is boolean, make sure it's, you put here boolean, right, like that. How you write that? Cannot give me suggestion, BOOLEAN, right? So BOOLEAN boolean, like that. Still I'm getting where, oh, I'm writing a JavaScript. See that is mistake, right? Must write TypeScript in TypeScript file. Cannot do that. So let is student or anything, right? So here, right now, you can put any data, does not matter. But if you tell this variable is a boolean, that means you cannot go and write like a number 10, right, or something. So you have the error. Type number is not assignable to the type boolean. This variable is a boolean. We have defined that. That means I must supply with the boolean data. Then only my code will be correct. So that is the boolean. Array also, yeah, there is array also, right? Let's say I have an array of number. How are you going to define that? Right? So array of number or maybe string number, right? So let arr, and we put what, colon, right, like this. Equal, okay, let's write this array first. 1 5 6 whatever, right? That is the number. Now you have to define the type. What kind of data is inside this array? So you put here array of number, right, like that. Oh, no, not that. What was that, guys? Anyone remember? This is number, right? So you just define the number, and then see here what we get. Type number array is not assignable to number, right? Right now this array is just number. This array is this is array, right? This data is array. But my variable is just a number, so you convert that to array by adding bracket here. That's it. Now it's correct. See, array is basically number, right? Number array. If I go and put here something like a string, now it will complain. That means this array must contain number, right? Not allowed for the string. Good. So that is, for array, okay? If you have there is something like tuple, right? Tuple, fixed length array with the different types, then you must define in this case, right? Like a let person colon, right? And this is the array with the maybe name, and then you have the age, maybe like that. How are you going to define multiple type array, right? Then you just call this colon here array, and you first one is a string, right? So string comma, second one is number, maybe third one is, let's call it boolean, right? Then you can put here true, like that, and then error will be gone. See, so if you have multiple types inside the array, predefine it in this format. Okay, all right. Enum, there is something called enum also, right? So in enum, let's say we define the value, right? In enum we define the value. Let's copy this. Basically what happened, right? In enum, you will get this during our module creation, like model, right? schema. Sometimes in schema, let's say the user, right? Is this admin or normal user? So you can define it like admin or maybe user, right? Or student. You define that value in advance, okay? And that is called enum, right? In form of enum, okay? So how you can define enum? Enum. See, I can get this enum, right? And give the name. So in our case here is color, right? It's like defining variable, let color, equal to something, right? Object, something like that. But in case of enum, enum color, and you define the color here, right? So we have red, green, and blue, right? you know so this color in our CSS, how we use, let's say red, right? Like this, green, blue, right? For example, okay. So you define that, and how you gonna use that? So let color, right? Colon. So what is the type here? Type is this color, right? This is the type of data. So we define in enum, we define the type of data here, and once you call this, right, color, what will gonna happen? You are only allowed to use this red, green, and blue. If you put like orange something, it will not work, right? So see, you are only allowed to use that value, okay. So we say color dot, let's put, see, when I say color, right, I get all this value. If I put orange here, it's complaining, right? It says you don't have the type or something defined inside this enum, right? Your value will be this one of this. So if I call it red, then it's fine, okay. So normally in the database, you will see the enum, and we put the value, right? Maybe something like a admin and the user, and then you have to give the name of the enum, right? So like a something, like let's call it what we can call, right? I don't know what we can call, admin or user. Let's access or something, right? So enum, let's call it person, correct? And then you're gonna use it here. So const person is a type person, right? It can be either admin or user, okay. And now I can call person, let's say here is admin. Cannot put const what is this? Oh, I have double name, right? So user, the user is admin, maybe user can be user, right? Also, so you, like, we predefine the value, right? And then only someone cannot like use anything that must be from coming from here, okay. This type, right? The type is admin or user. So if you have to define your own type, you put in the enum, give the name of the enum, and then that type will be used here. Remember, we have the type here like number or boolean. Similarly, we define our own type and then use that, right? So that is the enum. Fine. You have the any type, right? Also, that means if you are not sure what type, then you can put any, okay, and that will work. The So next one is for function, right? If the function does not return a value, let's say your function is not returning value, right? In our case here, let's say function is not returning any value, just printing, right? So you can make it void, maybe void, right? Like that, void. So it should be okay, right? I mean, see, earlier it did not complain. Why? Because here, the configuration, what was that? Let me see, right? There is something called, I think, there was a one name, I forgot. No implicit, I believe no implicit, right? Uh, control find no implicit, okay? If you uncomment this, then it will be strictly checked, right? So if you go back here now and run this code, let's say I don't put anything here, save, right? And run this code, npx, oh, npx, uh, no implicit is like what you call that, like true, right? So let's say I put any here, anything, any, what gonna happen is that it gonna complain or not? Let's see. Npx tsc dash b, right? So there is something new major version of the we get some different error. npm install this, just upgrade of the npm package, right? I have to install, but it should still run. I don't know why. It did not complain. Why not? If no implicit, I make it false, then what gonna happen? No implicit any, right? Make it false. Then there is error. No. I don't know why it's not complete. When I make true, enable error reporting for expression or declaration with implicit any type, right? So when there is true, it should complain, but it did not complain. So I'm not sure why. Okay, but let's leave this. Let's not go that far. Right? We don't worry about that one right now. But I just tell you, right? I mean, there are so many configuration you can use, right? Normally we don't need. Once we define our types, if that is properly defined, right, we get our uh, output or compile to correct JavaScript. If somehow by mistake we send wrong data, it will complain. So we correct in the point, right? Same time, okay? That is all our job to do. So we have learned almost here, right? Let's go back. Null, see, if there is type null, you can define that. Undefined also you can define, right? So we're going to look at this interface in tomorrow class. What we can do interface, right? There are interface classes in TypeScript, how you can handle that. So yeah, let's look at this function, right? Types in function, okay? Function in TypeScript, right? Normally in our function, what happened now? If you are writing function, right? Function, function, let's call it add. And you're going to add two number, correct? A comma B. So when you define this function, it's saying A is declared, but its value never used. Fine. We're going to return that A plus B, right? Good. A plus B. So A implicit has any type. Okay, see, it has any type, right? And B has any type. We don't know what this type is. So how you define the type here? Call it number. And also B, right? So this is how you give the type to your parameter, number. Still, like our function can only return number. In that case, you must put it here, number, right? Good. That is all we have to do. If you put here string, what's gonna happen? It will complain, right? Because we are returning A plus B, they are number. So Java's TypeScript is smart enough to know, right? Okay, I'm adding two number and I cannot return that. I cannot make that string, right? So that must be number is not assignable to any string, right? Means I cannot make it return string. Number cannot be converted to string, right? So you must return the correct type also. Good. this may be string, this may be whatever, right, types, but this is one example. So you can compile now. I mean, you can, let's console log this, right, console dot log, and we can call our add function and pass to number. Now I will pass 5 comma is complaint is saying, like it says what, expected 2 arguments but got 1, right? Fine, so we must have to give 2 argument and they are number. That means everything is correct, right? So let's compile npx tsc-b, and when we go back and check our index or AJS, right? Let's check AJS and see you have the, everything is fine, right? You have this function AB return a plus b and also the file, right? So now run the code node dist slash a dot js, now js, and I have the 11 answer, right? Good. So now what is optional parameter? Okay, what is optional parameter, right? So see, when in the parameter, sometimes you're gonna send the data for the parameter, sometimes you don't want to send. So how you write optional, right? So basically, okay, I'll just copy this. So if you look at this code, right, is what is saying greet, there is already greet, so I'm just gonna make greet 2 and run that greet 2 here, right? That should be good enough. Name is string, I'm gonna receive name, right? String. Age is number, age is what, number, but I'm not sending the number here. Maybe I can send 45, right? That is okay, but even if I don't send, it will not complain because of this question mark. Look at here. Now I remove the question mark, there is a complaint, right? That second argument, an argument for age was not provided, but I still TypeScript. Okay, this age is optional. Either you will get the value or maybe not, right? So when you don't get, don't complain, okay? So this question mark is optional. So in front of your parameter or even in the variable, right, wherever you want to keep optional, that's how you put optional, right? Question mark. You will see in database also, or in the JOD, right, when we create our schema, like when we define our types, okay? JOD is all about defining the like type checking, right? You check what kind of data you are receiving, okay? So that's why I, maybe better to complete the TypeScript and then move to JOD, right? So that is optional symbol, okay? And if I send data, that's fine, right? If I don't send, it still will be okay. So let me run this code. Npx tsc-b to compile, because I have made changes, right? And once I compile, I can run that node dist slash what, a.js, right? And see, I get hello Brahma, you are 45-year-old, right? See, if I don't send this, then what I will get, I have changed the code, I must compile now, right? And now run the code again, node.js dist a.js, right? And see, I just get this one. Good. But maybe someone thinking, why not everything, right? Just look at this code, okay? If there is age, that is true, right? Then only print this one. If this is false, because I don't send the age, right? That means age is false. So this one, okay, the right second one. So this is a ternary operator, okay, this symbol, right? True, question mark. If true, then the first one will be printed before this colon, right? If false, then second one will be printed. So right now you get the second one. Good. That is ternary operator. All right, guys. All right, all right. Now, same thing with the multiply. You can look at, right? Default parameter. You can even pass the value, right? That is called default parameter. Means a colon number and b colon number, right? But this time number has 10 value. That is default. You can predefine the number also, okay, or any value, right? So in that case, either you send something from here. Okay, let me copy this. So the default value means if I don't send value from here, it will receive this 10. But if I send 20, now I will get the multiple of 20 times 5, right? If I don't send, then it will multiply with my default value, that is 10. So default means in the parameter equal to value. So the parameter b is number and equal to value, right? So that's how you put default value for your parameter. So what we have learned, very basic types and how you can define that, right? How to compile and get the result. That is all. So next or tomorrow class, I mean, here is exercise now, right? You guys try, okay? Solve all this problem. You can try, and tomorrow we're going to look at some more complex type. That will be, let's see, interface in TypeScript, classes in TypeScript, right? How you can like create types in with the classes, right? I'm going to try to find some more. Maybe I'll check, right? So yeah, I think AP with the API, right? I have not added here anything with the API. Yeah, so we're gonna do look at that also. Okay, guys. So thank you very much. Look at this. Practice one, two time, three time, right? And that will be good enough. But practice, okay? You must understand how to write all this type, right? Tomorrow will be the more complex one. Not complex. I mean, it's not that difficult, but we must understand, right? What is interface? How you're gonna create types for APIs and all those, right? So we're gonna look at tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Let me stop here.